Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to share this day with you.
Just like in a dream.
With my good friend who's coming over. I love friendship, and I decided to elevate my day and yours by having Maureen come over.
She wanted a comeback. What she got was a global roast. Meghan Markle's new Netflix show, With Love, Megyn, was supposed to be a soft, focused return to the spotlight. A fresh start, cozy kitchens, styled motherhood, Pinterest vibes with a Duchess twist. But instead of applause, she triggered an avalanche of backlash. So brutal that even her most loyal fans are backing away like they smelled smoke. Critics didn't just dislike it, they dissected it. Parodies spread like wildfire. Ratings collapsed.
Why can't she just lend that marketing team to Meghan Markle? Why does she struggle so much with humanity? Why can't she just be like, hey, if I'm on that marketing team and I'm strategizing, I'm like, hey, here's what we're gonna do. You're just gonna be a person. She's like, what? What are you saying?
And now, the once glamorous fairy tale is starting to look more like a prestige drama that's been rewritten too many times. But how did it all go so wrong? Let's break it down. From the start, with Love, Megyn was packaged as something wholesome, a lifestyle reboot. Think lemon trees, beige linens, curated calm. She wasn't just the host, she was the Duchess of Sussex, making crudité boards and jam jars, while the camera lingered lovingly on every micro-smile. The idea was simple: reclaim the narrative. Show the world a warmer, more authentic Megyn.
I've noticed that whenever I do anything related to Megyn, it becomes like
big news.
Big news. Big news.
Yeah.
And selfishly,
But you guys
I'm
were
like,
just making cute little...
we were making sandwiches. And, then they'll push in on my face on TikTok and they'll be like, look at how this emotion you felt. And I honestly didn't even remember.
One who wasn't locked in royal battles or PR wars. Just a mom in Montecito with homemade parfaits and styled humility. But the second the show aired, the vibe shifted. Instead of relatability, viewers saw artifice. Instead of charm, they saw branding. Instead of authenticity, they saw something else entirely. What was meant to feel effortless ended up feeling forced, and viewers could tell from the first 5 minutes. What began as curiosity quickly turned to discomfort. It didn't take long for the mood to change from intrigued to irritated. People didn't just question the content, they questioned the intent.
And so she decides she's gonna make Daniel some popcorn, and why buy it at the market when you can get the actual kernels and just throw those in the microwave and pop it from there. So easy, like something out of a 2015 Pinterest post. And Daniel's favorite snack is peanut butter pretzels, so she gets a bag of peanut butter pretzels and takes the peanut butter pretzels and pours them from one plastic bag to another.
Why is everything so rehearsed? Why does it feel like a showroom? Why are even the snacks styled like they're auditioning for a Pottery Barn catalog? Even longtime supporters started raising eyebrows. Megyn promised to invite viewers into her real life, but instead, they got a choreographed performance dressed in neutral tones and camera-ready angles. The most damning part? It wasn't tabloids leading the charge. It was real viewers, real women, real fans. People who once rooted for her now calling it out as staged, sterile, and scripted. And once that wall of trust broke, the criticism only got louder. And then came the roast. Megyn Kelly and Maureen Callahan watched all 8 episodes, just so they could tear them apart.
Oh my God! Hi! You look amazing! Oh, you look even better! It's so good to see you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me to your beautiful, incredible kitchen.
Their parody went viral for one reason. It felt more real than the actual show. From passive-aggressive smiles to dainty insults disguised as hospitality, the satire cut deeper than any critic ever could. Their reenactment didn't just mock Megyn's performance, it exposed how deeply disconnected it was from reality. While Megyn posed beside cellophane-wrapped snack trays, her critics posed as her. And somehow, the parody had more soul. Even viewers who hadn't seen the actual show said the parody made more sense. That says everything. It didn't stop there.
My name is Megyn Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling. I want my home to feel welcoming. Do you feel welcome? Does my soundstage welcome you?
Rotten Tomatoes slapped it with a 28% score. The Guardian labeled it gormless lifestyle filler, while The Telegraph called it an exercise in narcissism. Even for a public figure as polarizing as Megyn, this wasn't just a flop, it was a faceplant. So how did Netflix respond? With a second season? Yes, really. But don't be fooled. This wasn't a celebration. Insiders claim it was pre-filmed, a just-in-case backup to salvage sunk costs. A corporate Hail Mary disguised as creative confidence.
She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated.
The message? If we've already paid for it, we may as well use it. And that decision might have just made things worse. And just when things couldn't get worse, they did. Fans began comparing with love, Megyn to Pamela Anderson's Cooking with Love. And the similarities were shocking. The aesthetic, the tone, even the dialogue. Pamela. I want to take it to another level. Megyn. I like to elevate the common. The overlap didn't feel like coincidence. It felt like a blueprint.
Who the hell picks berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants? Literally no one on earth does that.
Then came the bombshell. Megyn's signature recipe, Ladybug Caprese Bruschetta, was lifted, nearly word for word, from a lifestyle magazine feature published years ago. Internet sleuths started digging, and suddenly, many of the homemade moments in the show were exposed as recycled Pinterest content and decade-old YouTube crafts. What was sold as inspired was actually imitation, and the internet never forgets. And then came the moment that really lit the match. Megyn's team released footage of her visiting disaster sites, Los Angeles wildfires, Uvalde, presenting herself as compassionate, involved, present. But the internet wasn't buying it. One viral moment showed Megyn bending down to lift a trash can lid for a photo op, and the backlash was immediate. Thanks for stooping to help, mocked Candace Owens, dripping with sarcasm in a TikTok that got millions of views. What should have been seen as humanitarian became meme-worthy. The message was clear. When every act of kindness feels like a staged event, sincerity dies. And Megyn's acts? They were starting to feel more like brand strategy than personal conviction. Just when her image needed clarity, she pivoted again. The lifestyle brand American Riviera Orchard was suddenly renamed As Ever. The new logo? Mocked. The mission? Unclear. The products? Accused of copying royal family motifs. Even the preserves meant to be her version of Goop turned into jokes on social media. Her claim of humble beginnings was challenged by her own brother. Her show's originality shredded by digital receipts.
And even though peanut butter is his favorite snack, she made sure to write peanut butter pretzels on the bag just in case he's allergic. And then finally Daniel comes over, gets his gifts, and then he looks at her and he's like, "Girl, when did you learn how to cook? Where is the chef?" He looks like he's never seen her cook before in her life.
Her persona, warmth wrapped in royalty, cracked under the weight of inconsistency. What was once mysterious had now become hollow. A brand without a soul. Behind the scenes, Netflix was reportedly panicking. The brand integration wasn't working. The soft focus rebrand was collapsing. Executives admitted that Season 2 was a last-ditch move to salvage the millions already spent. And Megyn? She's now teasing a move into fashion. It's strategic, sure, but it also feels like a retreat. Fashion is safer. It's image first, less personal. It lets you control the camera, not the conversation. But here's the problem. Megyn's brand was built on the promise of authenticity, of letting people in. Now, she's building higher walls, and even her fans are starting to notice. Meghan Markle's public persona is splitting in two. She wants to be the relatable mom and the unreachable Duchess. She wants to inspire, but never offend. She wants creative control, but not creative accountability. Every episode, every product, every carefully worded interview widens the cracks. And now, the question isn't, can she recover? It's, do people even care anymore? The kitchen may be spotless, the jam jars perfectly styled, but the narrative around Meghan Markle is an absolute mess. And the more she tries to curate the story, the more the audience peels back the layers. Because in today's Hollywood, you can stage everything except trust.